What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV here, back here for another opposition preview. We have got Everton away in the FA Cup 5th round this Wednesday night, 7:45 kickoff under the lights at Goodison Park. You feeling confident for this one, Sim?
More confident than I was a few days ago. That's definitely true. I think I think positive feelings breed positive feelings. I feel with Kane back, giving everyone a bit of a lift on Sunday. Obviously a bit more confident, but Everton are a top side, and they're not going to be easy to play against. And especially if they get the first goal, I would worry a bit, but. I think we're as good as them at least. So, you've got to be at least confident we can put in a performance at Goodison.
And we owe them one anyway from the first game of the season.
Exactly.
I mean, they beat us fair and square that game.
They owe us one for Højbjerg, don't they?
And Sissoko and the rest of them. But look, we have got James from the Toffee Blues joining us today. Let's bring him in.
Hi guys, James. You all right?
Yeah, all good, mate. How are you? Welcome back to the channel.
All the better for snapping a late goal at Old Trafford, of course.
Fantastic stuff.
Yeah, I think the whole of the Premier League were celebrating with you after that.
Football Twitter enjoyed that one a lot, I think.
Yeah, I think I enjoyed it as well. With all my Man United mates, it shut them up for a few minutes.
That's always good, isn't it?
Yeah. So obviously, big game in the FA Cup this week, Wednesday night under the lights at Goodison Park. How are you feeling coming into the game?
Mixed emotions, I think. Obviously, we've not been playing fantastically well lately. We've been getting a mixed bag of results, few wins, few draws, few losses. Spurs again, I think you've been a bit of a mixed bag as well. So it's really going to be a case of who turns up on the night. I think this game, I'm I'm just in two minds, to be honest. Everton could either turn up and play brilliantly, or they can turn up and be horrific. That's been the way of the season. But I think Spurs have been very similar, haven't they?
Yeah. Well, we're following on from your second half at Old Trafford. Obviously, you were 2-0 down at half-time and you had a quick turnaround and obviously that late equaliser. Will that not give you confidence going into this game? Would that not give you a lift?
Yeah, I think it will. I saw a few little clips on it. I think it was Alex Iwobi's TikTok. The dressing room was absolutely bouncing after we got the late goal. So that'll surely help us going into this game, keep confidence high, and there's a good vibe around the place, so that really helps. But obviously, we're coming up against a very good Spurs team, and there's some players who can hurt us. We've got to be on our A game.
Go on.
No, I'm saying Everton this season overall, you see, just like Tottenham, it's been a bit of a mixed bag. You had a strong start, then you started to stutter a bit. You went for a run of like 4 losses in 5 or something. Then you got your form back, started getting some good results again. Obviously, a lot of teams have gone through that. But how do you assess how Everton are playing this season? Would you describe them as a very pragmatic side? Is there a side of like to keep possession? Or do they hit teams on the counter attack? How do you describe how Everton play?
Pragmatic is the right word for it. I think we seem to, it's horses for courses. We just pick and choose what way we want to play against certain teams. And, against Spurs, it's going to be a very interesting one because you're probably the most alike to us in terms of style. I think Jose is always a notoriously pragmatic manager as well. He picks and chooses when he wants us to attack and defend as well. So I think we've got two very similar managers and two very similar styles. More often than not, I think we seem to suit the counter-attack, to be honest. I think we're better in the transition than we are retaining the ball. I think that's into the current players that we've got. I think if you asked me last season, we've probably been better with the ball, but Ancelotti seems to get the best out of us when we're defending a lot. And that'll be interesting because I think Jose seems to have the same idea, I think.
And when you look at your squad and coming into this game on Wednesday night, who are your key men and who are the men that you really think that can come and hurt us on Wednesday?
I think it's a case of, obviously James Rodriguez is the main creator. He picked up a bit of a knock in the Man United game, so I'm not sure whether he'll play. But the interesting thing is when James plays, everything goes through him. When he was out with an injury for a bit, we actually went on a run of like 5 wins out of 7. So. It's interesting. Like the one thing we found, like Carlo will find different ways to play, and different players will be different threats on different occasions. We've never got a standout player. I think Calvert-Lewin, like you say, if you guys are quite skeptical of your defence, aren't you? At times, some of your defensive personnel anyway. So Calvert-Lewin might look to hurt you guys that way, and if you can, win the 50-50s and we get a few second balls, that'll really help our cause. I think it's going to be a case of seeing how it's going to be at the midfield. I think you guys have got to support your midfield to us, so that's going to be an interesting case. I think, like I say, Alan is a crucial player to us, and he's missing, or I think he will be. He's just recovering from an injury now, so whether we see him remains to be seen. Decore is a good player, but so is Ndombele for you guys, Højbjerg. It's going to be a very, very interesting game. I think, if anything, we'll probably try and go long, and I'm not sure if that's going to help us necessarily, but it might be the only way that we manage to get the upper hand on you.
You say Ancelotti likes to play like a pragmatic style of football, just like a bit similar to Spurs, but a lot of Spurs fans have been complaining about the style of football that we play and saying we should be more on the front foot, we should be more attacking, and it's hard to watch sometimes. Do Everton fans feel the same way about Ancelotti, or is it all about if you're getting the results, no one really cares about how you play?
We're very much the latter, yeah. I think it's a case of, in the past we'll have played better football, but we didn't get as many results. And I think at the moment it's a case of our squad's still a lot more limited than you guys. I think we've still got a lot of mediocre players that we need to shift, and a lot of personnel needs to be changed. But for the most part, he's getting the most out of limited players, and that's sort of helping us get over the line. The pragmatic approach is the only way of really doing that. Sometimes you can't be expansive when your players aren't that good on the ball. I think you guys have got better technical players than us, and I think there's more of a case maybe to ask Mourinho to be a bit more attacking when you've got the likes of Harry Kane and Son, of course, but behind that you've got like good players on the ball like Lamela, perhaps, and Ndombele, who's kicked on this season. You guys have got good technical players in your midfield. I don't think we really have that. So I'd say there's more of a case for Mourinho to be pressured into the more attacking style of football. As far as we're concerned, I think it's a case of, like I say, horses for courses, getting results by hook or by crook. We just play whatever tactical system the game requires us to do.
So obviously with Jose coming up against Carlo this week, it's going to be a kind of a tactical battle, a chess battle out there on that football pitch. But when you're looking at Spurs and Jose Mourinho, how do you kind of assess Spurs have been this season? How do you assess how good of a job Jose Mourinho is doing from an outsider looking in?
I think he's doing relatively well, to be honest. And I know the table doesn't suggest that, but I think he has done well. Look at the personnel he's brought in. It's similar to what Carlo Ancelotti's done here this season. Every single player you signed last summer, maybe barring Matt Doherty, everyone else you've brought in has made a positive difference to the team. And I think that's similar to what Ancelotti's done. We only signed 4-5 players in the summer, and all of them have helped us improve. And that's a sign, like the managers, whether it's down to the manager's tactics or whether it's down to his actual name and his ability to attract these better players, whatever it is, it can only be for the better. And it seems to, I know the table suggests otherwise, but you do look a lot better than you were last season.
Yeah, but why your best player, arguably Richarlison this season? He's only got a couple of goals in the Premier League, and by and large, for someone of his quality, you would think he would be getting a lot more closer to double digits by this stage of the season. What do you think is going wrong for him, or is he just doing a different role that is not related to goals and assists this season?
A bit of both. He's having a bit of a crisis of confidence. I think he's shanking at shots. He's very desperate to put that goal scoring problem right, which is probably making it even harder for him to actually get a goal, because there's times where, and it's hindering the team as well, because he's getting into positions where there might be a player in a better place to lay it off to two for the goal, and he's taking the shot because he's that desperate. But also, I think the main reason his goals aren't as he's not scoring as many this season is that he's been playing on the wing. He was playing as a striker in a 4-4-2 with Calvert-Lewin last season, whereas this season we've got him playing on the left. He's a lot more involved defensively. He's tracking back, which is great, and it's helping our defensive cause no end. And he's a very good hard worker as well, so you can't fault that from him. But obviously, all the tracking back and staying out wide and getting involved in the link-up play, he's getting him further away from the actual penalty area, which is obviously, I mean, he has had a lot less chances to score this season, but even when the chances have come, he still hasn't taken them as well as we'd liked. So it's a combination of factors, I think, with Richarlison.
Yeah, it's a weird one with Richarlison because even though he's not kind of on the form of scoring and getting assists as he was last season, I always feel that you lose a lot when you don't have him in the team. And I feel that you're a much better side with him in it. Is that the case?
I'd say so, yeah. I mean, we had a record until I think we won on Boxing Day. Until Boxing Day just gone, we hadn't won a game when Richarlison hadn't played.
Wow.
Since we bought him.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah, but I mean, that's kind of changed a lot since. And he obviously hasn't been in the best form, but his hard work is crucial, especially against like good sides like yours who will get up and down. We need players to protect our fullbacks, our wingers. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see Richarlison maybe on one side, possibly Alex Iwobi on the other, because they're physical and they've got pace and they tend to work harder than perhaps James Rodriguez, who tends to stay forward and maybe not do as much defensively.
On Wednesday, obviously, two sides come up against each other who both want to be breaking their trophy ducks. One's ours of 12 years, Everton's of 25 years. Two big teams who this drought is pretty unacceptable for both of them. But how important is it for you and as an Everton fan for Everton, to go on a cup run? And will you be very disappointed in Ancelotti if he does go with a weakened team on midweek?
There's not a possibility. There's not a chance that he weakens a team for this game. He would be slaughtered if he did. And to be honest, I mean, Ancelotti understands what silverware means to the club. I don't think he'll do that. I think 99% chance it's going to be a full-strength team or as close to that as we can possibly manage. It's imperative.
But because obviously it's a massive thing at Tottenham getting that trophy off our back, and Mourinho is brought in to win trophies and stuff. I'm just trying to get a sense of Everton. Is it just as, or maybe even more important for you guys to go on a cup run and really push for a trophy?
Yes, it most certainly is. I think we'd be absolutely idiotic to not take this game seriously. We've got to put everything we've got into it, even if it comes at the expense of a couple of league results, to be honest, because the silverware, this is our, I know you guys have still got the Europa League as well. This is our, and you're still in the League Cup as well. So this is our only chance left of silverware this season. We have to treat this like it's the cup final. We have to give everything we've got in this game. And if any player comes out of this game having left something on the pitch, I think fans will rip into them, because this means everything to the fans. We need to win silverware. And if the players don't grasp that, then it's going to be a disgrace.
So having said that now, how do you see the game going and how do you see Everton setting up? What kind of approach do you see Everton taking in this game?
As I just said, I think it'll be a pragmatic approach, to be honest, because if we try and go toe for toe, well, I say toe for toe, but Spurs are quite pragmatic themselves these days. But if we try and be expansive against your players, we'll get battered. Let's be honest. We try and leave ourselves exposed at the back against Son and Harry Kane and Lucas Moura, but in trouble. I don't think we've got the resources for that. I think we'll be quite solid at the back. That's how Carlo will want us to be. And then it'll be a case of trying to get forwards and get some opportunities at the other end. I think we'll be a lot more direct than you guys. You guys are a lot better technically than us. I think you'll find we'll try and make it as much of a physical scrap as we can. I think Carlo will be pragmatic, but if the players know what to go for them when they get out on the pitch, they'll be scrapping for every ball, every 50-50. That should be the way it is in this game, what it means to these fans. It's imperative that we give everything we've got and leave. Got to sweat everything in this game. We've got to give everything we've got. That's what it means to me and what it means to pretty much any other Everton fan that you'd speak to. In terms, obviously, I'm not sure what the ownership and the management have in mind in terms of priorities, but it's a priority for himself and I'd say 99% of other Everton fans as well. So that's what I want to see. I want to see our players give absolutely everything they've got. I don't want anything left on the pitch. when the final whistle blows, be it after 90 or 120 minutes on Wednesday evening.
So what, as an Everton fan, would you sacrifice top four for an FA Cup?
Oof. Question. My goodness.
Because there's a hot debate in the Spurs.
Well, it's been 16 years since we got in the top four as well, so that's obviously another one we need to put an end to. There's a lot of unwanted records shackling the club at the moment. That's a very good question, my God. Oh, you've stumped me there. I'm not going to lie. I think the FA Cup is more realistic than top four, if I be honest.
Mm-hmm.
I think we should be really going all out for the FA Cup. Besides, we've got a lot of tough games coming up, and you've got to take them as they come. I think, you could say rest players for Spurs, and then we've got the Man City game coming up. But you lose the Spurs game, you go into the Man City game with bad momentum then, and then you've got the Merseyside derby after that. You might as well go out all out to win this game. And if we lose the City game, then, you've won one and lost one, rather than you go into the second game with bad momentum. You might as well give this game everything you've got, and I'd like to think Carlo Ancelotti will.
All right, and what's your score prediction then?
I'm going to say a repeat of the opening day at the Lane. I'm going to say 1-0. I'm going to edge it. I think it's going to be a very nasty defensive performance. It's not going to be an easy watch I don't think it'll be an easy watch for anybody, not even us Everton fans. Even if we win, I think we'll be sitting behind the couch biting our nails, as we so often seem to be this season. We always win games by the odd goal. It's never an easy watch for the neutrals either. I say that. We play all right stuff sometimes, but as and when it calls for it, I don't think this will be one of those games. I think it'll be an ugly game, and I think we'll try and sneak a 1-0. That seems to be the way we go about these games.
Yeah, I think you're completely right in saying it's going to be a scrappy game. It's going to be a hard-fought game. It's going to be a game of chess in some ways between the two managers.
Cup tie.
It's going to be a proper cup tie between two very well-respected managers within the game in terms of Ancelotti and Jose Mourinho. James
And two clubs I might add who, given the trophies route, will show the FA Cup more of the respect that it deserves.
Yeah,
Agreed.
Completely agree with that.
It could be very crucial about who just gets the first goal in this one.
Yeah, I think
really
first goal is imperative in this game, because I think whoever gets the first goal, the other team will find it so hard to break the other team down, because they'll revert into a low block or what have you. And
that's exactly how both of these teams operate. So it's going to be a real war of attrition. It's going to be a game of chess, like you say. It's going to be a very interesting watch. I mean, for the tacticians out there who sit there and analyse everything, they'll be loving this game. Yeah. As for the typical football and neutral who's just tuning into the telly to watch a game of football, I'm not sure they'll be necessarily be loving the entertainment, but that's how I can see it going. It's going to be a low-scoring game, and I'm just hoping that we come out with the odd goal in our favour.
Low-scoring game, but it's an absolutely massive game for both clubs, in my opinion. Wednesday night, it's going to be a nervy affair. James is going up 1-0 to Everton. I'm going to go 2-1 to Spurs in extra time as well. I think it's going to be just one of those games. I feel that we can nick it. We can get a bit of revenge from the first game of the season. So I'm going to go 2-1 to Spurs after extra time. What are you going to go for?
1-0 after extra time.
1-0 Spurs.
Yeah, it's going to go with a tight affair, one goal in it, and it's going to be scored in extra time, I reckon.
All right, so there you have it. Every one of us going to win for their respective teams on the odd goal.
By the odd goal.
Yeah.
I think it's one of them we can all agree. It's going to be a nail-biting affair. I think we're all going to be biting our nails.
I don't have many left, but we'll see.
I don't after the weekend either, but it's one of them. Just pray to God that it's a 90-minute game rather than 120. I'm not sure my heart rate could take that.
Yeah, completely agree. And if it goes down to penalties, God help us all.
Jesus.
But look, James, thank you so much for coming on again to the channel. Always great to get your views. Anyone interested in Everton content or just footballing content in general, go check out the Toffee Blues channel. Link in the description below. Once again, thank you so much for coming on, James.
Oh, you're very welcome, guys. My pleasure. Thanks, guys.
All right, so there you have it. That is our opposition preview for the big game, big FA Cup game on Wednesday night. The road to Wembley is still on. Like, subscribe, and comment. And as always, come on, you Spurs.